Last time on Vintage Geek, we took our Tano Dragon out of the box and we gave it a first try with some basic code. Today we're going to try the included programs with the machine right here on Vintage Geek. Just a reminder, if you like what you see today, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps us a lot as we grow, and one of the things that helps us the most is if you would become a Vintage Geek member. You can do that at the website, and for just under $20 a year, you get access to all of our video content commercial-free, plus some bonus extras and more. It's all at vintagegeek.com. My first experience with the Tano Dragon was actually a good one. Reminded me a lot of the color computer, and with good reason. It's about 90% compatible. Doing some basic programming on it felt very similar to using the color computer, but I want to get a feel for some of the specific Tano Dragon programs. The system did come with a cassette called the Tano Master Pack that supposedly had a total value of at least $149.95. To get started, we're just going to use the cload command, which would be the same as the color computer, and we're going to use cload file names. Now, I think this might actually be a menu system to access the different programs, but let's take a look and find out. So far, this interface is the same as the color computer. It's seeking through the tape. Hopefully it will see the header on the file names program here shortly, presuming that I got the cables connected correctly. CC Writer. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. When it says cload file names, it's referring to use one of the file names. The first program I'm going to try to load off of this cassette is called Dragon Quest Part 1. You will enter a world of monsters and magic. To move about and function in this world, use one of two word phrases such as press enter to see. Okay. Examine lamp. Inventory. Go north. Looks like we got an adventure game here. You can use directional commands, that's helpful. Type cload to load the game. Oh, now I understand why they would have an intro file. The intro is just giving you the instructions and telling you how to use the game. Now I'm going to hit cload, which is actually going to load the program that's simply called Dragon, and that's what this is going to be. Now I get it. It's loading Dragon. Guess there's quite a bit to the Dragon game. Please tell me the Dragon's voice is Sean Connery.
How will you make a living, knight? Shut up!
Dragon Quest, 1982. You are in a castle hall. You see King on Throne. Exits are south. Program is by Charles Forsyth, dedicated to Mandy Katz. All right, so what if I put in just talk? How do you talk? Okay, examine. Fair enough. All right, let's go up. Can't go that way. Help. Try examining things. Well, I did, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know what I was examining. How about examine the king? The king says, rescue my daughter, the princess, from the evil dragon, and I will give you half my kingdom. You have until sundown. He opens a passage. What if I examine the throne? Same thing. Okay. You are in the main road in front of the castle. Examine road. Oops. Well, now I've done it. I actually hit one key above where I was trying to, and I ended up killing the entire program. Interesting adventure game here. I'm sure that there is probably some depth to this. I'm just not quite familiar with all the command set and everything, and I don't have my notebook out to start taking notes and drawing a map, but definitely a unique program for the Dragon. The next game is called Courier Pilot by Tyson Sawyer. Fueling up. Okay, I hope this is a joystick game. Ice on the wings. So it appears that taking off just goes straight up, I guess. But I don't actually know if the joystick is doing something here or not. Doesn't seem to be any instructions. And the arrow keys don't do anything. This isn't doing anything so far. I will admit, I'm a little bit lost on the Courier Pilot software. Looks like it could be fun. There's some fun graphics happening on screen and so forth, so I would like to know more about it. If any of you have ever played Courier Pilot, please sound off in the comments below. I'd love to know how to actually play the game.
What I'm trying to say is, we need your help!
But for now, we're gonna have to move on to the next one. So next up on the cassette, we have a game called Tower of Fear. I hope that this one's a little bit more playable than the last two. My fear right now is not being able to get through a game, so let's give this a try. There's Tower, and as some of you may know, I always appreciate a good tower. Let's see what this is all about. Nice. I'm a fan so far. Oh, it's another Charles Forsyth game. You are at the base of a tall tower. You see thick ivy. Looks like we're going to be in the same boat as that first game, but let's examine the ivy. Of course there's nothing special about the ivy. What would be a single word command to turn something on? I turned on a lamp. I've done something useful today. You are in a field. You see dagger. So now I have a dagger and a lamp. Things are looking up. If I hit I, do I see that for inventory? Yep, you have dagger and oil lamp. Okay, cool. I'm in a thicket. You should know what a thicket is. You just said I'm in it. What if I drop the lamp? Okay, so that does work. You can take and drop things places. You have 0 treasures. On a scale of 1 to 100, that's 0. Fantastic. Burn ivy. Well, I don't understand you either. Use doesn't work for anything. How do you not know what the palace is? Well, I will admit that this adventure game needs a little bit further explanation for me. I am not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. There's got to be a command or an action sequence that I'm missing here, but I assume that some of you out there have played some of these early adventure games, and if you'd like to contribute some insight, I'd love to hear it in the comments below.
Help, I need somebody help, not just anybody help.
Next up, we have a game called Gold Digger. I hit money. Charles Forsyth wrote all these games. Press any key. Grams of gold, 0 grams, fuel 999. I hit the arrow key, I'm moving over. Ah. Ooh, we got 5 grams. Okay, so there's rock to my left. Let's see if I can go up. Oh no! Who filled up the place with water? I ended the game? Oh, did I run out of fuel? I wasn't even paying attention to that, actually. Let me play this again. We're in the money indeed. I do like the sound effects. I am a terrible gold miner. Ended the game. How did I end up with 0 grams of gold? I thought I at least found 2. Does it not count unless you bring them up and do something with them, I guess? Because the number in parentheses changed when I actually did find some grams of gold. I guess I must have to bring them back up to actually make them count. How do I get back up to claim the grams of gold that I have? There goes our mine shaft. At least it doesn't count fuel when you're not digging, but again, it says you've ended the game with 0 grams of gold. I feel like the Tano Dragon games are messing with me. not gonna lie, there are definitely some things that I do not understand about how to play these. It's interesting, and I feel like there's something here. I'm just not sure what you're supposed to do with the actual gold once you've found it. I think it's worth noting with these early games that even though visually they're not as appealing as some of the more modern counterparts, there's a lot of work that obviously went into coding these, as we saw in our demonstrations using some of the samples from the book. Just doing simple things graphically and with sound takes some work and takes some finesse to get it just right. And this is similar to the color computer and the other computers in that line, where you really have to spend the time to make things work properly. And I'm sure that these games have more depth than we're seeing in the demos today, but without having more of that knowledge of how they work, it's a little bit hard to play through these. There's a lot of questions I have about this game, so hopefully some of you out there may know some of the answers and can get back to us so that we can play this again on our Tano Dragon. Just a reminder, if you like vintage computing and vintage video games, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps us a lot, but not as much as when you consider becoming a Vintage Geek member. You can do that at the website, and for just under $20 a year, you get access to all of our video content commercial free, plus some bonus extras and more. It's all at vintagegeek.com. Until next time, I'm Aaron, and this has been Vintage Geek.
Give me a few poses, just like being frustrated at the machine or at the screen.
Okay. Come on. What? I don't understand. Stuff like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was really good. Lean forward, give me an angry face. Maybe wag your finger at it. That was pretty funny. I think I can work with that.